Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield. The old school theme. The Shield brought back last night when they reunited for the Monday Night Raw, August 20th, 2018, the post-SummerSlam show, and it felt like a post-WrestleMania show. The Shield reuniting, Triple H is out in the middle of the ring, cutting a promo on The Undertaker. Stephanie McMahon is getting her arm snapped by Ronda Rousey. We got kick-ass matches. This was a fucking entertaining Monday Night Raw. And it was good to see because I thoroughly enjoyed SummerSlam. I wanted that momentum to continue. And boy, did it ever. A show with some negatives, and we're going to go over that. We're going to try not to get too amplified on the negatives. But the positives here, man, the entertainment value, to see Brooklyn react the way they did basically throughout the night, that tells you that was a damn good show. And we're going to start right with the Shield reunion. I think it was yesterday, man, just a few hours before Monday Night Raw. I saw an image, or maybe it was a video clip, something of Evolution. Batista, Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton. And I just remember Evolution was a badass unit. And I don't think a lot of people put them in terms of like the NWO or the Four Horsemen. I almost said Four Horsewomen. The Four Horsemen, the NWO. But Evolution was a badass faction. And I was just thinking when I saw that clip or that picture, whatever it was, I was just thinking there hasn't really been a faction that we can really get behind, man. And factions are badass. Factions are usually, when they're done in a heel format, the ones that beat the shit out of the hero, out of the good guy. Factions are the one that build storylines. Because ultimately, the fan wants to see the underdog or the guy who's getting the shit kicked out of them by 3, 4, sometimes 5 individuals. The fans want to see that one person get the ultimate revenge on this whole unit. Because that's the ultimate deck stacked against you storyline. When you have a faction taking out somebody. That's what made NWO so special back in those Nitro days. Is because they would always come out as a group, sometimes 10, 12, 15 individuals, taking out just one person. It was badass. And at the same time that it was badass, you felt bad for the guy getting his ass kicked. And you wanted to see them somehow surmount some offense, right? Gather some offense together. But it's just too much. The numbers game is too much. But ultimately, they either find backup or they get creative and they start one by one taking out this unit. It's what made the NWO special. It's what made fucking Evolution, groups like that. Now, the Shield is a totally different entity, right? It's only a group of 3. But they were fucking badass. They came into WWE with a chip on their shoulders. They came in like, we're not going to earn respect. We're taking it right from day number 1. And that's what they were doing. Triple power bombing motherfuckers through a table every single week. They didn't give a shit who they pissed off in the locker room. That was their character. They even came through the stands, through the crowd. They didn't come through the staging area, through backstage. It was like they wanted nothing to do with that locker room. That's who they were. Last year, was it, I believe? They tried to make a comeback, but through many bad circumstances, injuries, illness, a lot of things got into play and got in their way of the actual Shield reunion that they wanted to do. But maybe that was a blessing in disguise, because I felt that was going to be half-ass anyway. This time, man, if done right, you got the old theme back. You got Dean Ambrose looking like a fucking, the baddest motherfucker he's ever looked. You got Seth Rollins on top of the world with his IC strap. You got Roman Reigns on top of the world with his Universal strap. This faction, this could be the best Shield we've seen since their incarnation. And last night, man, I went through the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps, man. I was puzzled, then I was pissed, then I was pumped. I was puzzled Because when the Shield first came out, I was thinking, what does Seth and Dean have to do with Roman Reigns right now? There's no connection. So I was puzzled. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I'm confused. My mind was boggled. But then that puzzleness turned into pissed off. I was pissed. Because I was like, Braun Strowman, as much as it would have made sense for him to cash in at SummerSlam, so why the hell would you do it a day later? I was still pissed because the crowd was so into it. That's contagious. When you see how excited Brooklyn is for this Braun Strowman cash-in, I was immediately excited. Because again, that's contagious. When you see a crowd having fun and entertained and intrigued, it's contagious to the person at home. So I was like, fuck, let's do it. I don't care if it's 24 hours later anymore. I don't care if it should have been done the night before at SummerSlam. Let's have this cash-in, man, because it was there. And JoJo announced it. Braun Strowman is cashing in his Money in the Bank. So first I was puzzled, then I was pissed because the Shield was coming out. And I was like, what the fuck? But then I was pumped because then I knew the bell didn't ring. So Strowman still has his lunchbox. No harm, no foul. And we get the Shield. If we're not going to get a full-fledged Roman Reigns heel turn, at least we're going to get Roman Reigns not giving a fuck, destroying motherfuckers with the Shield. And my question is the Shield the heels in all of this? This is obviously setting something up for Braun Strowman, and maybe he gets somebody or two somebodies, and they take on the Shield. Maybe this is 3-on-3, all hell in a cell, like a fucking War Games type shit. Who knows where this is going? But I like it because there's so many questions. What does Braun do now to counteract the Shield? Does he try to fend them off all himself because he is a monster among men? But how many men? Is 3 Shield members too many men to be the monster of? So does he get some backup? Is the Shield the heels in all of this? Has Roman just inadvertently turned heel? Is this better than a Dean Ambrose heel turn that I wanted? I wanted Roman Reigns to turn heel. I want Dean Ambrose to turn heel. Is this the best thing we're going to get to a heel turn? Or are they going to go full throttle heel? Brooklyn was loving it because A, it's the fucking Shield. They're badass. B, it was their first time coming together in a long time. So of course we're going to cheer it. But when you start seeing them every week, if they keep them all together every week, do they start getting booed? Do they start being the heels? There's a lot of questions. And again, ever since Evolution, I really haven't had that dominant faction that I've been waiting for. I want the Shield to be that faction again. Come out and start destroying motherfuckers. That's how you elevate storylines. Now I know, before I continue with how badass that was, to see the Shield come back together in a huge return, because that's what it was, guys. You don't believe me? I'm telling you, I was excited as fuck, but you don't believe me? Go and watch Barclays Center, and that's New York City. They don't easily go ballistic for anything. They went ballistic when Strowman was about to cash in, and the only thing that could make them still cheer and go ballistic was a Shield reunion. If anybody else interrupted Braun Strowman about to cash in, Brooklyn would have shitted on that. You would have heard the chorus of boos so fucking loud you would have thought Roman Reigns was in there with Brock Lesnar again. But no, they were going fucking nuts. This was awesome. And again, the Shield reuniting would have been one of the only things that would get that reaction after we just teased another Braun Strowman cash-in. But I do want to say this, just to save you guys, some of you guys may have already fucking typed it, man, because you're not listening before you type. Before you start type, BC, I hate it, and I know what this is for. This is for Roman Reigns. Before you type that, please don't flood my timeline of the comment section with bullshit. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm with you. I understand. I get it. We know what it's for. It's to help Roman Reigns, right? I get it, guys. But before you start throwing around words like they're manipulating us and they're trying to fuck with it, I get it. I'm with you. But it's their company. Who the fuck cares if they're trying to manipulate it? Advertisers do it. TV shows do it, movies do it, companies do it. They're gonna try to manipulate what they want to get out of you as a fan or as a buyer of something. They want to, of course they're gonna try to manipulate. They're going to try to set a storyline in place. They want to kind of set the narrative. So some people are so hung up on it. What I'm more pissed about for the last couple of years now is that so many people are being destroyed to try to get Roman Reigns over. But I'm not upset with them trying to put one over on us or manipulate us. That's not upset. That's their company. That's Vince. He can do whatever he wants. Of course he's going to try to set a narrative. So many people think they're the actual owner of the company. Too many people out there think they and Vince McMahon own the company, and they're like, I'm being manipulated by this. Fuck you, Vince. I own this company too. You can't manipulate me. You're the fan. Either you can think of it as being manipulative, or they're just trying to set a narrative. You can choose to go along with the narrative or not to. But stop thinking you control the company. You don't. So I get you. I'm with you. I understand the narrative. I can choose, which I do most times, not to like it. But this time, if they keep the Shield together and it's not the failed 2017 version, right? I think it was last year, right? It wasn't earlier this year, I don't think. Maybe it wasn't before WrestleMania, right? Well, whatever the fuck that last attempted Shield reunion was, guys. It was a failure. But we know why. There was injuries and illness, and I don't think everybody was on the same page creatively anyway. So it was a blessing in disguise. If they do it correctly this time, pull that trigger, and we got a cool faction again. We got people fucking motherfuckers up. And I'm sorry, not sorry. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman was one of my greatest feuds that I loved in the past couple of years. Maybe the last 5 to 10 years. That's one of my favorite feuds. Roman and Braun just beat the shit out of each other every time they were in the ring together or backstage or beating the fuck out of each other in a parking lot. That was one of the best feuds that I can even remember in the last 5 to 10 years. So now you're putting the Shield up against Braun Strowman. Take my money on that shit, man. You said something epic up for Hell in a Cell? Take my fucking money. I'm on board. But I already see some people trying to shit on this because they feel they're manipulated or they feel like Vince is trying to put one over on them. It's like, who are you? You just sometimes just watch as a fan, relax, let it play out, right? And I know, man, I'm with you. I hate when people tell me, BC, relax and enjoy the product. If I see something that is off the rails, no. I'm gonna call them out on their bullshit. That's just what we do on this channel. But I have always, from day number one, at least let things play out if I don't know where they're going. I let it play out. Unless it's a total car wreck, a total train wreck. Like a fucking Sasha and Bayley, for instance. But you see, it's gonna play out to a tag team champion. Right, I get you on that. Tag team championship, or maybe down the line they end up breaking up. But it's too late. It's too late for both. I don't want to see any of it for Sasha and Bayley. See, things like that, I'll call bullshit on. Roman Reigns, I've called bullshit on it the last couple of years. But this? You don't even know where this is going. They could be the heels right now. Roman and Dean might have just turned heel with Seth. Or they could just be a dominant, badass face faction. If crowds are loving it, if they produce entertaining and intriguing content, then what the fuck does it matter? I'm not going to be one of those people that are just going to drag Roman Reigns through the mud because it's the cool thing to do on social media and on this platform. Every time Roman Reigns does something good or there's a fun, interesting storyline with Roman Reigns, I'm supposed to drag it through the mud and say we're being fucked with and manipulated. Fuck that and fuck you. I'm not going to say that shit. I call it 100% down the middle every time I view a television show that is pro wrestling or a pay-per-view that is pro wrestling. Is it good or is it bad? Is it great or is it tragic? And I come on here and I give an honest review. That was a fun badass way to end Raw last night. Strowman about to cash in to the point where JoJo even announced it. All of a sudden, the Shield comes out, their old theme, looking the best they've ever fucking looked, and they take Braun Strowman and they crash this giant of a man through a fucking table via a triple power bomb. It was badass. Brooklyn was going ballistic. I was on the edge of my seat. We faded to black with the fucking fist pump. And I was like, whoa, badass. To the point where I didn't even tweet about it afterwards. Usually I give my thoughts on Monday Night Raws via a bunch of tweets, man. I didn't tweet a lot last night because it was a fucking dynamite show, I thought. And the ending, I was like, you know what? I'm going to save my words for the video. If you truly just hate the storyline, that's fine. But please, save your comments with this Roman Reigns fucking, oh, it's all for Roman shit. Stop that shit, please. I'm sick of seeing that in my time. It's like you guys are being fed some bullshit, and then you come onto this channel and you're like, I'm just going to regurgitate what I was just fed. No, don't bring that here. Trust me, nobody drags Roman through the mud fucking as much as that WWE fan base that just really can't stand anything he does. I get that, and I know why you think you're doing it. But if you honestly want to shit on that segment, I don't know what you're expecting anymore. Guys, I really don't know. If you were not happy with that ending of Raw, I don't know what to tell you anymore. As a pro wrestling fan, maybe you have to rethink being a fan. Honestly, of WWE. You could still watch. I'm just being honest, guys. I have nothing but love and respect. But after all the bullshit that we have fed for the past several years via WWE, they finally give us that shit. And I know some people are like, what? Oh, it was dumb, man. I know what they're doing. Anything that's good with Roman is I know what they're doing. Relax. They can do what they want. They're the company that owns it. They have to fit a narrative. Trust me, if this is just Roman, and fucking more people are falling because of Roman, and more people are getting fucking pushed into obscurity because of Roman, I got you. But with Dean Ambrose and Seth, I didn't want to see them together anyway for too long. So if they're going to be together anyway, which is what it looked like next week we're just going to get a Dolph and McIntyre versus Seth and Dean match, and then fucking just repeat that in redundancy the week after, and then maybe another one-on-one, Seth versus McIntyre, Dean versus Dolph again, then Dean versus McIntyre, maybe Seth and Dolph again. If you're going to have that anyway, put him with Roman and make him the Shield. What a badass fucking return. And in the match, can we just talk about the fucking match? Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, the main event. They brought their A+ games, man. Brooklyn, again, on their fucking feet for this shit. As I was, the edge of my seat. That was a main event. Kick ass. Wasn't even the Demon. It would have been great if I saw the fucking Demon Balor in there against Roman Reigns for the main event. But you got Finn, but Finn brought that shit. No way should he have won that championship. Not as just Club Balor anyway, man. That would be fucking... Roman wins that SummerSlam. Strowman never even cashed in or got it. And then fucking Finn Balor's the one that walks away with it? No. Unless he was the Demon, then I'd be okay with it. But there's no way he was going to win that. So Strowman ends up coming down. Causes a little bit of a distraction for both men. Roman and Finn were kind of like, whoa. But Finn was smart. He got the upper hand. He hit like a missile dropkick or some shit. Tried to go for coup de grace. Ended up missing that right into a spear. 1, 2, 3. So I love that ending. And right before Strowman is about to cash in, here comes the fucking Shield, man. Old theme. Looking badass. Triple powerbomb this giant of a man through the fucking table, man. We faded to black and Raw went off the air. But if you think about it, that wasn't even the only kick-ass match last night. It involved the other Shield member, and that is Dean Ambrose. He took on Dolph Ziggler, and that was a kick-ass match. That matchup, man, and Seth Rollins and McIntyre, usually I hate the cheerleaders in the corner, is what I call it. I hate that shit usually. Last night, they had the perfect flavor and brought the perfect mix to that match. They complemented the match instead of took away from Dean and Dolph. So Seth and McIntyre complemented and they added to the match. Usually when you have the cheerleader, they kind of take away from the match. So I love Seth and McIntyre as well on the outside. And I think Seth versus McIntyre and I think Dean versus McIntyre are going to be good matches if they build them correctly. I just don't want to see them every other week on Monday Night Raw or every week. Build that, and you can build something special, because we know McIntyre can go in the ring. Him with Seth Rollins, who we know is one of the best right now in the business. He's one of the fucking hottest superstars going skill-wise right now. Dean Ambrose has probably one of the most, if not the most, momentum right now. You could do a lot of good things with Seth and Dean right now. I am loving this Shield fucking reunition that they got going. And that match last night with Dean and Dolph, another kick-ass Raw match. 2 kick-ass Raw matches in one night. I'll fucking take that shit. And that wasn't even it. You had Dolph and Dean tearing it up. You had Finn Balor and Roman Reigns tearing it up. You had the return of the Shield. Unlike SummerSlam, this was a badass tease of a cash-in for Braun Strowman. All of this shit, and on top of all of that, you had Triple fucking H coming to the ring and cutting a promo, a badass promo, on The Undertaker. About, I believe it's Melbourne, Australia, a big super show that they're doing, a pay-per-view / special event on the network. I think that's October 6th. And it's going to be Triple H versus The Undertaker. And the slogan is one last time. So, I don't take any stock in that, to be honest. I remember John Cena was taking on The Rock at WrestleMania. And they said, what was the slogan, guys? First and last time? Or something. What was it? I forgot. They were billing it as like the only time you're ever going to see John Cena in the Rock. And the very next year, they had another match. So, I don't build anything WWE says. In pro wrestling, especially WWE, never say never. So, they're billing it as for the last time, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see Triple H and The Undertaker in the future. But just the fact that here in the summer of 2018, you got Triple H cutting a promo on The Undertaker on a Monday Night Raw. Fuck yeah, baby. Give me a piece, just a piece of that Attitude Era, and I'm happy. And Triple H was, man, when he cuts a promo, I'm not saying he's up there with Paul Heyman in that level, but Triple H can cut a fucking promo that'll give you the fucking goosebumps and get you excited about a match, especially if we're talking The Undertaker. So on top of everything I already announced with some good wrestling, the Shield reuniting, Braun Strowman with a legit cash-in tease that people actually enjoyed. Along with all that, you had Triple fucking H coming out and cutting a promo on The Undertaker. And even all of that wasn't it on last night's Raw. Stephanie McMahon returns in the ringside. She's got all the females around the ringside area. She calls out Ronda Rousey and pretty much takes credit for all of Rousey's success. And Rousey's like, no, this isn't about you, Steph. It's not always about you. She said, I won this championship for all of us. It's about the evolution. Don't you understand that? And Stephanie goes, no, this isn't Ronda. Ronda's going to want to break the arm of every single one of you. And she goes around to all the ladies and said, don't trust her. She's going to snap your arm. And Ronda Rousey looks at Stephanie and says, no, I don't want to snap all their arms. I just want to snap the arms of those that deserve it. And she takes Steph down and snaps her arm back. Steph immediately is tapping out. Ronda finally, through the grace of her fucking goodness, lets Stephanie go. And all the females enter. The Bellas had to lead them in. The females never knew when to come in. Bellas are like, let's go in. So it was definitely sloppily done at the end there. I don't think they built the intrigue for the Ronda takedown of Stephanie into the armbar. I feel like another slap by Stephanie McMahon to Ronda would have really gotten Brooklyn like, oh, fuck, you done fucked up. And then Ronda goes after. I don't feel Stephanie did enough for Ronda to take down Stephanie into an armbar. You get what I'm saying? And that's where the sloppiness began. So it wasn't Ronda's fault. The story wasn't built up correctly, and that's Stephanie's fault. As a heel, she should have built it up even more. I wanted a smack. Put your finger in Ronda's fucking face. Push Ronda. Give us a reason why Ronda would take you down, because this was just Stephanie talked a little bit of shit and Ronda takes down the commissioner of WWE. And then at the end, all the females around, you're asking for a clusterfuck. So nobody knew when to come in. The crowd was kind of a little disengaged at that point because it kind of got a little sloppy. But when you look at the grand scheme of the storyline, they continued to build Ronda the right way. She's still taking on that authority. She's taking down the commissioner and putting her in the armbar again. She's not going to back down to Stephanie McMahon just because you're the commissioner, just because you're the boss's daughter. Fuck that and fuck you. I love that. And at the same time, they are trying to fill their agenda with trying to make Ronda Rousey look to the fans that are saying she doesn't deserve it, and now it's all going to be about Ronda. They were saying, hey, this is about all of us. So to the casual fan and to the Ronda haters, they're trying to lessen and soften the blow. I wouldn't have done that. I would have had Ronda going out there and going, this is mine, motherfuckers, and ain't nobody taking it from me. Cry your fucking salty tears, bitches. But that's just me. They wanted to cater a little bit to the casual, cater a little bit to the Ronda haters, and just say, hey, relax. It's not all about me. It's about all of us. But then she immediately goes back to taking out the authority. So I was happy with that. Again, sloppily done, but the message was there. I see where they were trying to go creatively, and they need to. They need to keep booking Ronda as Ronda versus the authority, because that's how a badass should be booked. From Steve Austin to Brock fucking Lesnar, you have to have the badass fighting the authority. So all of that, couple of great matches, Shield reunites, badass tease with the cash-in, Triple H is coming out cutting a promo on The Undertaker, Ronda Rousey is snapping the arm of Stephanie McMahon yet again. All of this shit, guys, was on Monday Night Raw last night, all in one show. So I know there ain't nobody going, oh, that was a fucking horrible show last night. Ain't nobody saying that shit. If you're saying that shit, to New Japan, motherfucker! Or go to NXT. We're booting you to one other company. Go somewhere else. Company. NXT is just under the umbrella of WWE. There's a fucking... People like to blur the lines. They think they're cool because they're part of NXT when WWE and Vince McMahon owns that shit. You're still giving Vince your money. He's playing you like a puppet. But seriously, just fucking stop. If that's not a good show to you. Triple H cut a promo on the fucking Undertaker. Ronda snapping the arm of fucking Stephanie McMahon. The Shield reuniting. Brooklyn on their feet about to see Braun Strowman cash in, but this giant of a man gets triple powerbombed through a fucking table. If that doesn't excite you, if that's not entertaining to you, then go watch Everybody Loves Raymond, or the TV show Friends, or go watch another fucking episode of fucking Grey's Anatomy. Because I don't know what to tell you. On this channel, we are always calling out the negatives and the blunders and the fuck-ups and the stupid decisions. Last night, they gave us a lot of good shit. If you couldn't find a nugget of good last night, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to straight out come out and tell you, just don't watch the shit, because I hate when people try to tell me that. BC, if you just you don't like that much shit, if you're just that negative, just don't watch it, BC. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. I really, really do. When you're passionate about something and you love something, do you just fucking give it up because it got fucking bad? Or do you try to make it better? You think I come in front of this camera every fucking Tuesday morning after Monday Night Raw and speak for almost an hour every fucking week? Do you think I do that for my own fucking health? I'm probably taking years off my fucking life yelling like this. But I do it because I know I'm reaching an audience, and hopefully that reaches another audience, and hopefully it's like a domino effect, and it reaches more and more people, and they pay it forward, and before you know it, I can make an impact to try to help make the product better. So no, I won't just stop watching. I'm here to try to make the product better. One person at a time. One subscriber at a time. But as much as we can be so damn negative on this channel, and it's out of love for the business, trust me. As much as we can be, I'm also going to call out positives and when there's a good show. That was a good fucking show, no doubt about it. So save the comments, guys. I thought it was a terrible show. I can't believe we're doing The Shield again. A fucking repeat of what I've already seen before. Somebody, Triple H and Undertaker, whatever. I don't see a storyline with this. How about the story is Triple H versus The Undertaker, numbskull? Ronda and Stephanie was just so stupid to me. I hate this show. Another bad Raw. You guys would be amazed at some of the comments that I see. I tell you, man. People actually take the time to comment some of the stupidest shit. They feel the need to tell me their fucking hatred for the TV show. Thank you. Thank you. Duly noted. Duly noted. But you can keep your comments on this show because they're not going to change the Amplified Man's opinion. This show, badass. But we got to get to the negatives, right? We got to get to them. So here we go. After that whole, hey, this is a positive spiel, now we got to go into the negatives. Before I do, can I just say one more good thing? One more. Elias last night. I'm loving Elias's work. Just like Constable Corbin, who is, by the way, the interim GM because Stephanie McMahon was so pissed off that Kurt Angle didn't do anything about Ronda Rousey snapping her arm. So she said, you know what? I'm not going to fire you, but you need a vacation, Kurt. I can see the stress is starting to wear in. So Stephanie tells Kurt, take a vacation. Kurt's like, I don't need a vacation. No. Kurt, you're taking a vacation. Constipated Corbin, you are the new interim GM. So now the new boss, our new boss for WWE Raw, is Constipated Corbin. So we'll see where that goes. But I like Constipated in this role. I really do. This is the best Corbin, even though he's suffering loss after loss lately. But I think in this role, he's going to get the right airtime. I think he's going to be great in this role. He was great in the Constipated role. Now that he's the GM, I think we're going to see the very best of Constipated Corbin, and this could really skyrocket his career way more than a Money in the Bank win ever did. Obviously, I mean, he failed his cash-in when he finally attempted, but so obviously this is going to be way more than that, but this is going to be the best we've seen Constipated Corbin, so it was really good to see him continue that character last night, even though he lost a match against Bobby Lashley. So wrestling-wise, he continues to lose. But the character of Constipated Corbin keeps getting better, and that brings me back to my original point. Elias. I am loving Elias more and more every fucking week. I am walking further and further with Elias. Cuts another good promo on Brooklyn last night. Kurt Hawkins ends up coming down, says, hey, you know what? You're the perfect person to beat my 218 loss streak. 218 losses consecutively. And he says, you won't beat 219. I'm going to end this right now. And I love Elias. Elias looks at Kurt Hawkins and he says, just like Brooklyn, Kurt, you are a loser. You were born a loser. You're going to die a loser, Kurt. So Hawkins is like, no, man, are you going to fight me or not? Hawkins starts getting some fucking bass in his voice. He starts fucking manning up, chest out, delts out. And Elias is like, you know what? Fuck this. All right, let's get... He didn't say fuck this. It's a PG show, but on this channel, it's not PG. So he said, fuck this in my vocabulary. And Elias took on Hawkins. Obviously, that was loss number 219 for Hawkins. Elias continues to look pretty damn strong. And again, just like Constipated, Elias's character continues to grow. I'm loving it. Now we have to go into the negatives. And I'm going to start with Sasha Banks, because that's my main negative on this fucking show. Sasha Banks is out there with Bayley again, taking on... Who else could they take on? Guys, it's only one team that they take on every week, every month, every year. Every fucking day of their life. It's just Sasha versus the Riott Squad. So this was back to how they originally started this months ago. Six women tag. So now they just added a sixth woman, right? Ember Moon was added to this 5-person feud. This never-ending story, whatever story this is, they just go out every week and wrestle each other. That's not a story. But anyway, Ember Moon, at least I get to see Ember Moon, right? We never get to fucking see her. She got called up to fucking sit in the catering area and eat some fucking pies with some fucking frosty ice cream and some lemonade on the side. Because that's all we do with Ember Moon. We don't see her. So Ember Moon got to be out there last night in a 6-woman tag. And can I just say, the entrance of Sasha Banks continues to be Sasha's song plays for like 7 seconds, and then the whole entrance is just Bayley. The second Bayley comes out, Sasha is now Bayley's bitch. And Sasha, the boss character, all her mannerisms are gone. Sasha just gets into Bayley's position, she raises the Bayley buddies, and Bayley's music plays all the way to the ring. Sasha's individuality is fucking gone, unless she has a singles match. But with this tag team, she's in Bayley's fucking shadow. BC, it's just the theme music. It's not that much. It's everything. It shows you who the dominant one is. BC, it's just that the theme music for Bayley is much better for the long run going to the ring. No, it's really not. Sasha's theme song is badass. Bayley's corny as fuck. BC, the theme music for Bayley is more for the kids, and I think that's where they're going. No shit, Sherlock, and that's stupid. And it's not even just the theme song. That's just one thing that's being played to the ring. In only 7 seconds of Sasha at the beginning, that's only one thing. Then it's the mannerisms. The second her theme music's playing, now we go into Bayley's shtick. We gotta do the Bayley buddies. And then Sasha's looking at Bayley the whole time like it's this younger sister looking up at her older sister, somebody she fucking idolizes. She makes Bayley look like this god when Bayley is one of the most god-awful talents I've seen on that main roster. It's amazing to see somebody who did so good in NXT do so fucking shitty. And this is not the booking. BC, it's the booking and creative that is keeping Bayley down. Nope, not it. Wrong. 30 plus years, and this time this is gonna sound really egotistical, but guess what? I know more than you on this one, guys. I've studied this Bayley shit. This is not just creative and booking. This is Bayley not wrestling as good as she did over in NXT. Straight up. Whether it's a 5-minute match or whether I've seen Bayley in a 15-minute match, she is not doing what she once did. It's like she got complacent. She literally is what she tells Stone Cold in every other interview. She literally just loves being there. She just loves being in the WWE. It's amazing. What a world. Who cares about being the best? I'm just here. And now she's in a tag team with somebody who literally wanted, at one point anyway, to be the best. Now they're just raising Bayley buddies, giving sunglasses to the little kids, and hugging it out. And now you know why I love seeing Ronda Rousey snapping the arm of fucking Stephanie McMahon. Give me something badass. Because if you don't give me that, then I'm stuck. Or Ronda Rousey beating up security guards. How badass is that? Because if you don't give me that, I'm stuck with dancing lesbians. Or whatever the fuck they are. Just really, really oddly, creepily, grossly, awkward friends. Like way too close of friends. Whatever the fuck their story is, whatever their shtick is, I'm over it. I'm over the Riott Squad, Sasha, Bayley. Now they're throwing Ember Moon into this shit. The match, at least, this is the best match that I've seen them. I will admit that. As far as the Riott Squad and Sasha and Bayley with anybody in there, this is the best match they've all had together. But shit, that's not saying much. If you wrestle 762 times, you gotta get good at it. That's like 762 practices, and you finally have the game. But I don't expect this to end anytime soon. Every week you're just gonna see this. They have nothing for them. BC, don't worry. Sasha will eventually get a tag team championship with Bayley. Oh, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. Epic. Sasha Banks took a nasty kick to the head, man. Ruby Riott in that Riott kick. Is that what it's called? The Riott kick? Whatever the fuck, man. That kick was right to the side. That's Sasha being Sasha. Not only is she fucking great at what she does, she can sell better than any fucking women I've ever seen. She sells the shit out of things. And Ruby Riott, we already know. You guys know. man, before she even hit the main roster, I was high on her. When I went to WrestleMania in Orlando, was that last year or year before? One of those fucking years. In Orlando, you go to the convention center. It's called Access for WrestleMania. And the second that Access opens, you get to see matches. They have like NXT matches and developmental talent. And it was only me and like 7 other people maybe, because the doors just opened and everybody, the convention center, it's Access. So there's all these cool things to do. Interactive shit for WWE. But I just want to see some wrestling. So me and 6 other people, we sat down and it was just us, like 7 people, I think, something like that. And Ruby Riott was one of the females out there wrestling. And I was like, she's going to be something someday. And it's so cool to see her, and hopefully once she separates from this Riott Squad, hopefully she catapults to the top. She's got the talent. We saw her in there with Charlotte Flair early on in her main roster career, and she held her own. And I told you guys she was gonna. Ruby Riott, nasty kick to Sasha's head. Ruby Riott covers Sasha. Another pin on Sasha. Sasha Banks either pissed somebody off or pissed the whole locker room off at this point. Or all the suits and ties. Some shit. Somebody just doesn't like this female, man. She's the one that, they're not just losing as a team, but she's getting beat every week. And most of the time, it's a simplistic roll-up. She can't even kick out of a fucking roll-up. It's like a hamster on a wheel. Like they just keep going around and around. They can't get off. It takes them a while to think about how to get off, and then they just jump. It's like they're jumping off a bridge. You ever see a hamster? Sasha Banks can't get out of a fruit roll-up for the life of her. Anyway, that was that. Not happy about seeing Sasha and Bayley together. Not happy about them seeing them against the Riott Squad. Not happy about seeing Ember Moon having to be in a 6-woman tag. That's the best you got for Ember. But at least we got to see Ember. Revival versus the B team in singles matches did nothing. Watch the crowd. I tell you every week. What do I tell you guys? What do I tell you? The Revival will never be over on the main roster. I don't hate the Revival. I have nothing against them. It's just the truth. Something that worked in NXT, this is why I try to tell you guys it's 2 different entities. NXT cannot be in comparison with WWE. In NXT, you could put somebody like the Revival, that team, into NXT, put them in a 20, 25-minute match, and they're going to shine. And people are going to be like, whoa, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. This is amazing. You know, that NXT crowd is going to eat that shit up. And then you can bring them over to Brooklyn for a takeover and put them in that atmosphere and put them in a 25-minute match. And they can steal the show. They can be match of the fucking year. But you put them on the main roster, nobody is giving a shit about this team. I promise you. Don't hate the messenger. I'm just telling you guys. Now, maybe there's 20 different ways to improve them. But they're not going to. We know the WWE. We know how they work. We know how they operate. And we know what the Revival is as a team. I'm trying to tell you from day number 1. There's still some people that won't listen, but maybe you'll listen to Brooklyn last night. Crickets, you could hear. Crickets! After both Revival members, Dash and Dawson, after both beat Dallas and Axel respectively, nobody gave a fuck. And usually I say just the golf clap is what they get. Last night, you go back and watch the footage. Nobody even stood up but that weird loony bin guy in the green shirt. You ever see the guy in the green shirt? He's always front row. Yeah, that's the only guy that was standing up. And he wasn't clapping or anything. He was just standing up because I think his legs were fucking, he needed to stretch. Because he was standing up and looking every other way. He didn't even care about what was going on in the ring. Nobody, other than that loony bin guy, stood up. Not a golf clap, not even that. Nobody even stood up. The Revival is even going more into obscurity than I even thought they were going to go into. And that is with victories. That's just the truth. AOP, Titus Worldwide, they're going the route of Sasha and Bayley versus the Riott Squad. They're just going to fight each other 100 times. We already didn't give a fuck the first week. Now people are just going to really just like they are putting the fans into obscurity. The fans are like dripping into a dark world known as obscurity whenever we have to see these redundancy matches. AOP ends up taking out Titus Worldwide after like 10 fucking minutes. And Michael Cole has the balls to say this is the most dominant we've seen the AOP. A 10-minute match against Titus Worldwide is the most dominant? It should have been a 30-second match against Titus Worldwide. Boom, boom, bump, 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 bump. Is that everything? I think I covered most shit, guys. So those were the negatives. The positives for me far outweighed those negatives. So a badass Monday Night Raw for the Amplified, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. Or at least found a few things to enjoy. The Triple H promo. The Shield reuniting. The wrestling. If you didn't like any of that, at least I know you had to have liked the wrestling. Finn versus Roman Reigns was a great match. And then you had Dolph versus Dean Ambrose. Another great match. For Monday Night Raw, anyway. So, if you didn't like anywhere where the stories are going or any of the extracurricular activities, hopefully you like the wrestling. If you're like me, you like a mixture of both. So, looking at Monday Night Raw the last decade, I'm gonna definitely take that Monday Night Raw. We got a lot of questions that I want answers to. Where do the Shield go from here? What does Braun Strowman? What does Braun Strowman do from here? And is the Shield going to be more of a heel faction? Because if they do this feud, somebody has to look more of the heel. They may not necessarily be called, via WWE standards, a heel. But somebody has to be portrayed as more of the heel. I don't think they're going to make Braun be that person. So that would be the Shield. And that's where I definitely want to see Roman and Dean acting more as a heel. If we're not going to get Dean turning on Seth, I'll take it in this way. But either way, face or heel, we got a faction back, and I want them to fuck shit up every fucking week. And it started last night by putting a giant through a fucking table via a triple powerbomb. I missed that shit. Amplified man, amplified coffees, and amplified ass whoopings. For now, I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown's review reaction. SmackDown looks like they're bringing an epic show. They were promoting that badass last night. Paige is promoting one of the best SmackDowns in recent memory, so let's see if they actually produce that. Now, for now, Amplified Man, check you later!